Hi there, this is Ranjit, and I have been using this Samsung Galaxy S5 for the last 3-4 days, and I found a lot of interesting shortcuts and tips, and I'm going to share my top 10 tips and tricks for the Galaxy S5. And the first one is this S Finder. Now we have this integrated, and this is a universal search. For example, just I entered S, and it just showed me everything from S. For example, first it shows you the app and contacts, etc. Screenshots you have taken, whatever. So it's pretty handy, and you can customize it. You can go to the settings, and here you can select the categories from where it actually gets the data from. So it's kind of handy if you're just quickly trying to look at something. And for example, let's say you just booked a ticket or something, you saved it on your phone, you don't know, you just type the ticket and it'll give you a list. So that's pretty handy. Next, let me show you this. Using this is the standard messaging app, and if you notice, the font size is actually pretty small, and you can adjust it actually using this volume rocker. For example, let me show you. If you just press the plus button, as you can see, it is increasing. So this is pretty handy. And again, let me open this message, and it works inside the messages also, like this. So it's pretty handy. I like to keep it pretty small, but if you quickly want to change it, you can easily do it via this volume rocker. Next step is, if you have used any Samsung device, this is not for S5, you notice that when you press this home button, there is a certain delay. There is a half a second delay or something before it responds. And the reason for that is, with many of the Samsung phones, even with this S5, the S Voice is enabled for double tap. If you double tap, S Voice activates. But I would suggest, if you don't use the S Voice a lot, just go to the settings and uncheck this option of opening it via the home key. Now we have disabled it. Now if you notice, if you just press the home button, it instantly reacts, and this makes your S5 a lot more responsive, in my opinion. Now the next step is this My Magazine. If you scroll towards the left, you get to this My Magazine, and this is kind of a flipboard kind of a thing, and it might be useful for some people. But let's say you don't like this. I actually do not use this a lot. This is an easy way to disable it. If you just do this pinch gesture, you can adjust your home screens, etc. But if you go to this home screen settings here, you can just uncheck this, and now you notice the My Magazine is gone. Another setting is, and I have seen this only on S5, is cloud backup. Actually, if you go to users and backup, you see this option of cloud, and here you have to just enter your Samsung account, and you can now back up your device. For example, in sync settings, you can go and check what are the things that you want to sync. For example, your contacts, your calendar, and even it actually backs up your messages, etc. So you can just hit this backup, and as you can see, it will back up the phone logs, messages, etc. So this is a handy feature, I would say, and I would like to see this feature in future Samsung phones also, and this way you can easily back up your device. Now we also get this fingerprint scanner with this S5. You just unlock it. I have enabled it, and you just swipe it and you can unlock it. But by default, the accuracy is not that great. I would say I was getting around 40 to 50% time the accuracy, but you can actually improve it a lot. Actually, Samsung allows you to add up to 3 what do you say, let me go to the tab view. It's here, if I go to the fingerprint scanner, actually Samsung allows you to add up to 3 fingers. But to improve the accuracy, for example, my thumb I have used, I would suggest that you again scan the same finger again, and that improves the accuracy. For example, let's add that. See, again, sometimes it happens. And now I'm going to register one more finger, and I'm going to register the same finger. By default, what you'll do is you'll just swipe it like this, but I would say that swipe it slightly in this curved angle also the second time you do, because normally when you unlock it, you might not do it perfectly like this, and this will improve the accuracy. Now the second this finger also, that's the same for us, has been enabled. Now if I unlock, even slightly doing like this sideways, it will unlock. So this improves the accuracy of the fingerprint scanner a lot, in my opinion. Now this another feature I like to do on many of the Samsung Galaxy devices, and it's not particular to S5, it works for almost every Samsung Galaxy device, is if you go to the phone settings, hit this, go to the menu and go to the settings, and in call, I have enabled this. If you go to call alerts, I've enabled this option called vibrate when answered. For example, when you're calling someone, you have to hold the phone to your ear. He might pick up the phone after 30 or 40 seconds. Won't it be great when the person picked up, let's say after 30 seconds or 40 seconds, the phone vibrates and you can directly talk. So you can enable this option called vibrate when answered, and it does exactly that. So this is a handy feature, and I like to enable it on almost on every Samsung Android phone that I use. Next mode is this ultra power saving mode. I am actually still checking this mode, but what it does is actually makes the whole screen black and white and saves a lot of power, for example, and it takes about 20 seconds or so to enable it. And not all of the apps are enabled by default in this mode, but let's say you are on low power. For example, I'm at just 28% power, as you can see, and it says I can get about 3 days of battery life. Again, the apps are a bit limited. For example, these are the apps that you can use. Recently the Twitter and WhatsApp was also added. Earlier it was not coming. So yes, these apps can be used with this, and it's in black and white mode. And I would say this is a very handy feature if your battery falls to critical levels like 20% etc, and let's say that you can't charge it for the next couple of hours. It's a good idea to enable this mode. I'm actually doing a in-depth testing of this mode, so I'll be making a separate video regarding my actual performance with this mode. So stay tuned to my channel. I'll be producing a dedicated video regarding the ultra power saving mode on this Galaxy S5. Now moving to the camera on this S5 is also improved. I'll show you some of the new settings that I liked and I used. For example, we have this option of selective focus here, and we can get decent bokeh effects if you use this. I have used this to take some shots, so I'll give you an idea how it works. For example, I've used that selective focus on this, and if you notice this icon, let me just zoom in, and you can hit this to edit the photograph on the fly. And if you notice, these are in focus, but this background is kind of blurred, and as you see, it's on near focus. But if I hit the far focus, if you notice, this is now blurred and this comes into focus. We also have pan focus, but it did not work in this picture. Again, it does not work in every pictures, but I took one more picture and in that pan focus also worked. For example, if you notice, this isn't completely focused. I was focusing on this, but these plants at the back are actually out of focus, kind of blurred and bokeh effect. But let's say if I want to make that into focus, I can just hit this far focus, and it takes 3-4 seconds, and as you can see now, these are in focus and this is blurred. Let's say I want both this one and this one in focus. You just hit this pan focus and now everything is in focus. So this is a decent I would say addition, and it's a fun thing. Only thing you need to know is that it only works great in static pictures. If people are moving around, it does not work that well. So this is one feature. And another feature that I really like on this S5 is this HDR mode. You can enable it. For example, let's get out of this mode, and in HDR, actually live it shows you how the HDR works, and it's great. Let me show you some shots that I took with HDR and non-HDR. So this is the picture that I took normally without the HDR, and this is the one that I took in HDR. See the detail, for example, see, non-HDR, HDR. So HDR actually works very well on this Galaxy S5, and it's very easy to toggle. You just toggle it from here directly and it works. And another setting is that in video, if you go to the video, by default it will be set to 1080p, but you can also go to 4K, that is UHD, by just clicking here. But do note that these modes will be not working on it. HDR and even image stabilization does not work, but you do have 4K recording. I have made a separate video regarding the 4K recording. You can check out that for the results. It's actually the videos come out to be very sharp. Now coming to one more thing is that the layout of buttons have been changed, and now if you just depress this home button for a while, you get to Google Now. So you can quickly access Google Now directly from the home button. Also, if you notice, this is the multitasking tray now, and you'll notice that the menu key is now missing, but the menu key is still there. And let me show you the same. If you open this app, for example, let's say I directly want to go to the menu, you can just hold this multitasking tray for a while and it accesses the menu. So if you hold it for more than a second, the multitasking tray, it acts as the menu button, and it works in many of the apps. Let me show you one more. This is in Chrome browser, and you press the menu key, you get to the menus. So this way you can quickly access the menus. Another thing that I like is the delayed lock option. For example, if you just press the power button like this, it immediately locks the phone. Now if I unlock it, I have to unlock it via the pattern key, or for us it's this fingerprint scanner. And I actually use the phone a lot, and many times after just unlocking, I within a second or two, I just remember I need to do something and I have to unlock this. But fortunately we do have one setting. Let me go to the settings and in device, and if I go to this lock screen option, if I scroll down all the way, by default it will say lock instantly with the power key. You uncheck that, and also here it is going to lock immediately. I want to lock the phone let's say after 30 seconds. So I just hit this 30 seconds, and now if I press this power key, within 30 seconds if I open it, it will be unlocked. So this is also a handy feature. You can keep it to 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and this does save me a lot of time. So these are some of the tips and tricks that I use on an everyday basis on the Samsung Galaxy S5. If you have any other tips and tricks regarding the S5, do share them in the YouTube comments. I'll also be making a lot of other videos on the Samsung Galaxy S5, so if you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the same. I have already made quite a few other videos on the Galaxy S5. Links for those videos will be in the YouTube show notes. Thank you for watching this video. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.